All right, so let's get started on week 12 with a little bit of a code challenge, or maybe what I should say, and this is what I put on the write up: fix my code. I suspect there's been a few of you that have been bugged by the following issue: that you cannot enter decimals. Okay, I mean, you can enter them, but they don't take. Because really, you know, why is that true? Okay. So I want you to see if you can figure out, and maybe, and I'm guessing there's a few of you that already have and have already fixed it. But if you haven't, right? Because the other thing is that if there is also on the miles per gallon, right? We could have a decimal there as well. So we actually have two issues here we'd want to have you fix. And I'll give you a little clue. One is on the input elements on the HTML, and one is in my code. And actually, the one with the input is also in my code. So here's what I want you to do: I want you to spend some time, right, looking at it. Well, here's my suggestion, right? One of the things I definitely do is I walk through code. Now, we do have this new organization that we got from last week. So part of what you want to do is say, okay, where do I start? So if I'm looking at the form, right, I could go into my event listener and I could set my breakpoint here, right? And I could do this, right? Oh, that's horrible. Actually, that's another error. I want to have you validation that I'll have you write, right? So we could start here, right? Because it is inside the event listener. Now, this is not throwing the error, so it is inside of it. And then start walking through it and figure out, see if you can figure out why. And what's funny for me, and I actually have to say this because there were moments when I saw what I had done today and I felt a little embarrassed. And then I was like, it's just part of coding. Sometimes you just overlook stuff. I kind of wave my hand at things to come back later and fix. And this is one of those. It's like I should have caught this sooner, but you know what? I didn't. So all you can do is do better moving forward. Okay, so just to be clear, right? First, see if yeah, I'm also, and let me just read what I put here, right? So you want to take 24, copy it into 25 DOM selectors, which we'll get into next. But first, right, we have a coding challenge, or I should call it fix my code. After attempting to fix the code, the issue I've outlined, right? So there's two issues. One is there's an issue on the input. One is there's an issue on the way we're storing it and the output. Okay. So that's why I kind of said fixing IO input output errors here. Now, if you can't fix the code, no worries. The key is you want to spend some time thinking about this, right? Because thinking about trying to figure out issues is part of what you're building as a skill base. And it's okay that you don't have the answer. The key is that you spend the time thinking about it and considering what would cause these types of issues. Okay. All right. So give that a whirl. If you don't get the code working, then tell me in your README file, what did you try? What did you look at? What did you consider? Okay. So if you fix the code, and by the way, if you also fixed the code already because it was bugging you, you can tell me that as well. And if you did that, right, I will also make sure your code runs correctly. So make sure you have that as well. But if you put your README file, then all I will do is check the README file. Okay, I hope that's clear. And then in the next video, we'll pick it up and start talking about the all important DOM selectors.